How's everybody doing? It's Dr. Katka here. So we have the end of February, the power month of number 2. We had the most amazing, most powerful 2/22/2022, which the total number for the day was number 3. And that brings me to March. What is in store for us in March? As much and as little as we want. Yeah? The beautiful thing about March is the month number 3. We have another power triad there. The first, the second, and the third. 3 1 3 2 3 3. Number 3 is very powerful. You know, I love Nikola Tesla and his work. And I went to visit his home country where he was born. A remarkable man, remarkable man. He had so much to bring to humanity, and he had so much more to bring that he wasn't able to. And partly because he was willing and wanting to do it for free. His brilliance is what comes to mind for the month of March. The power of 3, the power of our brilliance. The brilliance of who we are. Not just the brilliance of our mind, but the brilliance of the connection between the mind and the heart, and every single human being being unique and having its own brilliance. Like we all have our own brilliance, and the month of March is a huge invitation for us to bring it forth. You know, I never hear from you as to how you are with this month and what's happening for you. I always invite you to share. The power month of February, for me personally, was a huge wake-up call. I told you, it's not the power days, the power month. It's not necessarily, ooh, I'm a Superman, ooh, I'm a Superwoman. For me, the Wonder Woman, yeah, I love that movie. I love her character so much. It's more about seeing the things that we haven't been wanting to see, feeling the things we haven't been wanting to feel, and hearing the things we have not necessarily been wanting to hear. And they do come from other people, and they also do come from within. It's the stepping back a little bit and looking at the big picture and going, wow, okay, these power energies are really bringing the truth forward. Remember, I'm always about the truth, and the truth sometimes is harder to see. So we do a lot of things to kind of go by and not wanting to see them. And you know, there's this, we need to feel good, and or there's this, all the positive creation and good feelings, and we should be doing everything we can to feel good. And yes, that is true. We do want to feel good, as that is the place of a huge creative energy, and we need to feel the good feelings, including the whole, yeah, including all that is underneath those days that we don't feel that good, that sadness comes, that anger comes, that, you know, certain old beliefs come, and certain patterns show up over and over. And we have been so well trained in our world from very young age to make sure that those are not fully seen and not fully tended to, and we gotta look a certain way, and we gotta look good, and we gotta do good, and in order to be loved and appreciated, we gotta do certain things. That is what our world has been about. I believe that is changing as we are more and more every single day, especially this year, asked to come back to, who am I really? Who am I really? And am I showing up as that? Am I showing up as all of me? And for this month of March, what I would like us, or invite us to do rather, is to look at the depth of the network that we might have created to stay away from the deepest fears, and to stay away from the deepest sorrows. Because once we bring them in, once we actually bring them in and take them as this is who I am, and this is the fear, this is the biggest fear of who I am, and what will happen if I actually allow myself to fully feel this fear? Will I be okay at the end of it? Will I be okay at the end of the 2 days? I'm gonna allow myself to feel this fear. Well, I better try, because if I don't, I'll continuously do something to not want to feel that. And February really, as a powder day, for many of us, I believe, brought this to the forefront. Okay, so this is who I am, this is the light of who I am, and this is also who I am, and all of it is light, but I have judged it as dark and wrong, and I have kept it in these tight anger, fear, sadness, despair containers, and I've pushed them away. Now it's time to fully unwrap these beautiful gifts and bring them in, feel them, see them, hear them, and bring them in. And one way we can do this is, this is going to sound really, really, really crazy coming from me as a naturopathic doctor. There are a lot of things we have in place that are considered, and the best way I have, the best word that I have is the word, if you think about drug, yeah? And I mean drug as a recreational drug. We think of these big, substances that other people would take to forget about things, to feel good, to access certain parts of the psyche. And that is, there's some medicines that are very deep or profound medicines that could be considered in this category, that are very life-changing and eye-opening and important to consciousness changes. And then what happens oftentimes, if we don't do quote unquote the work of all of this, we are kind of just like back at the same place. So the invitation is, let's look at what we could actually be using as a quote unquote drug in our life. It could be anything from those basic needs, food, sleep. Like, am I really tired and do I need a nap, or do I just want to avoid, I feel unmotivated, I want to avoid things and I want to sleep in. It could be sex we could be using for that. It could be all sorts of medicines. It could be even supplements. And this is my goodness, I could never believe I would say that. There's a lot of supplements that help us feel good. There's a lot of supplements, and there is an absolute place for them. There's an absolute place for supporting our brain, supporting our liver, supporting our adrenals, yeah? And then they can also become like a crutch, yeah? They can also become like anything else, everything else, smoking, anything, really, anything smoking, even if it's a beautiful, herbal substance. Let's look at, this is really hard for me to say because I do a lot of those things. I love chocolate, I love coffee, I love sleeping in. Oh my goodness, it's like when I'm looking at, if I really want to access my brilliance, and what I mean by that is access the connection of the heart to the source self, to the universal truth that we all are, to the higher self of who I am. I really have to look at every single one of those aspects. Yes, I need nourishment from food, and yes, I need sleep, and past the basic needs, am I using any of these to make me feel good and leave this little part that I don't want to see behind? I have really started seeing that in that Superpower Month, because as I said, it's the powerful days are where the truth is revealed. And so the invitation is, let's take number 3 as the number of brilliance. And the invitation for myself and whoever wishes to join me is, in order to access the brilliance of who we are, we have to take all of us with. Yeah, we cannot leave any part behind. Of course we want to take the part that feels good and happy-go-lucky and yes, and this powerful being. Of course we want to see our light, and that is the goal, to see the light of who we are, to see the light of who we are. But do you know the power of seeing the light of who you are without having to take anything to change the consciousness, without having to take anything to make the fear and sadness feel better, without having to do anything to push it up to the good feeling? I am light, I am love, and I feel so much love and so much power, and I'm this most amazing being on planet Earth, which is the truth, yeah? And there are many ways to access it. The way that is sustainable, the way that I feel and I see is sustainable, is to do it without the aid and without the pushing away those energies of who I am that are actually the stepping stones to feeling. There is nothing more powerful than feeling the love of who I am in the midst of everything that I am. The fear, the anger, the despair, the victim, all of it. And that only, from my experience and my perspective as of right now, and it can change and I'll update you, can happen in the rawest possible state of who I am. This is who I am. Eating the cleanest possible food, supporting the body in the most sacred possible self-care, and letting go of all these altering substances, whether it be a basic food that would do that to my brain, or a supplement, or some hardcore drug, yeah? So it's just something to think about, ponder upon. And the most beautiful thing about the month of March is because February has 28 days, yay, it's such a power month. March is exactly, you know, the 1st is the same day as the 1st. Tuesday the 1st of February is Tuesday the 1st of March. So it's like we almost get like a second chance, like a do-over, yeah? Here is the do-over, the second chance of the power month, bringing the brilliance of who we are every single day of the month of March. That is my invitation for our month 3, March of 2022. Many blessings.